Kenny.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
I am doing wonderful, especially today. Have
Yes,
you
sir.
ever seen a more beautiful day?
It is a gorgeous day.
And,
yes, that the Lord has made for us.
He has done the incredible job.
Yes.
And of all places for us to be able to be today is on the campus at the Home of Grace with all these beautiful azaleas.
And a holy place.
And a holy place. Out here, and the folks back home can't necessarily see all this, but this was the old campus of the Home of Grace many years ago, and you remember it well.
Yes, sir.
And
I was a client here in 03.
You were in 03?
03 is where I started.
Okay, well that was a long time ago.
Yes, sir.
That's, I think, before I came. Yeah. Anyway, there are a few buildings still left down here. This place at one point was covered in little buildings, wasn't it?
It was it. Everybody lived here.
I'm sorry, what?
Everybody stayed down here.
Everybody stayed down here. This was all there was to the Home of Grace at one point in time.
Right.
And over here used to be a great big building that encompassed the dining hall, classrooms, and the kitchen, everything.
Yep.
And
living quarters.
Yeah, living quarters.
Nazareth.
That was a Nazareth building.
Yep.
And it was like a dormitory, I guess you could say. And
roughly 65 people were in there.
65. And at that particular time, they didn't have doors. They had curtains.
That was it.
Separating each bed.
The rooms were about, say, 12 by 11, or 12 by, let's say 12 by 12. 4 people stayed in them.
Yeah. Okay. And the clinic was in a small building, maybe about what, 300 or 400 square feet?
Yes, sir.
And all of these little buildings that were out here
Detox.
Detox.
That was Genesis.
All these little buildings were the result of someone calling Brother Bill Barton and saying, hey, I've got a building, if you'll come tear it down, you can have it.
Yep.
And he would send a crew of our men who were in the program over there to tear these buildings down, bring them here, and reassemble them in some shape or form.
Right.
And they were all pretty nice.
They were.
It turned out well. And many men have spent their time in the program down here.
We've outgrown them.
It became a problem, though.
Yep.
And what was the problem, Kenny?
Flood water.
Creek.
Yep.
That flood water from the creek has wreaked havoc down here for many years.
Yes, sir.
And God made a way.
He did.
For us to escape the flood.
Right.
And he took us up the hill.
Up the hill, high ground.
One of these days, it just came to my mind, one of these days he's going to take us way up the hill. He's going to take us to glory. Going to take us to glory, and I can't wait. The old admin building is right there behind where the camera is, and that housed the entire administration staff.
It did.
Of the Home of Grace back then.
And security stayed up above. And some of the third phase lived up above.
Yeah. And today we have shown our people back home, those who watched our videos, the new campus.
Yes.
And there's absolutely no comparison. It's state of the art.
That's it.
And we're very pleased with what the Lord has been able to do there. Yes. But that's all the good news.
Yep.
Now we have some bad news.
We got issues.
Right here is the chapel that has become infamous, if you will, in most parts of the southeastern part of the United States.
Yes.
That's the little chapel at the end of the road that we sing about in the song, the Home of Grace song.
Many people have their lives changed.
They've been saved, and their name has been written in the book of life within the confines of these walls right here in the chapel.
Yes, sir.
And it's because of that, this place is precious to us. It's sacred. It's holy ground. But the holy ground is being undermined right now.
Yep.
And that is a result of, once again, the floodwaters, right?
Floodwaters, yes.
I tell you what, let's do. Let's take a little walk around back, and we'll look at that, and you can kind of tell me what's happened there, and tell the folks back home so they'll understand.
Will do.
So let's walk back here, and as we go, I I want to one more time emphasize that this building has been pretty much the focal point of the entire program of the Humble Grace.
Yes, sir.
Because there were chapel services that took place here.
Every night.
Every single night, preaching services, men were getting saved, redeemed, born again, right inside those doors right there.
Yes, sir.
And so it's vitally important that we preserve this building and try to bring it back to its original condition. And guess what? We have just the man that can do that, because I know if anybody can restore it, it's Kenny Dees. So let's walk around here and take a look. So anyway, Kenny, we're coming around to the back side of the chapel now, and we're going to see something here that you've already spent a lot of time looking at and examined and analyzed, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And you can see what needs to be done. You know what needs to be done.
Right.
But our folks back home have not seen it, and it'd be good for us to be able to explain it to them. So obviously there's a gaping hole here.
I took this out to see what I need to do, how they built it. So I need to know how to repair it.
Exactly.
Right.
And we've got the integrity of the entire foundation on this back corner has been compromised.
Right.
And it's critical that we get this repaired.
Yep.
The back side of the chapel where the Humble Grace choir, when they get up and go sing, they're actually standing on this end of the chapel.
Yes, sir.
And so that's a lot of weight when you put 30 to 40 men up on that stage, standing right here. So don't think anything is going to collapse just yet, but it will if it's not repaired, and that needs to be done. So, what caused this? How did this get this way?
Well, it looked like to me when they built it, they had wood arches, which has wood columns, in which it probably has a pier that is sitting on here. That brick wall is a double brick wall. It's outside veneer, inside veneer.
That's right. I hadn't thought about
There's
that.
no wood other than the arches. Okay. It looked like to me they came here and they put the chain wall in. Once they done the chain wall, they backfilled. It looks like to me they came here and they put an edge for them and they poured where the chapel's going to be sitting first. And they built it, still leaving this dirt. Then they came back and poured this slab on, and then they didn't tie the two slabs together. Well, maybe rebar dowels. Sometime in between the floods and the roof water coming down, the slabs separated. Well, they put water in the crack and it started washing water out, especially when the floods came. And when the water came off the roof, it washed the dirt out, so the slab separated and fell. When it fell, it made one of the arch piers break and fell. With the brick, if you notice above the door, the cracks above the arches, the crack over the door where we think it's probably fell around 3 inches.
Right.
Now we can fix it. We have to get jacks, jack the foundation up, put stands in or leave the jacks in and backfill it with cement. Then we'll come in after we have all this demoed off, go back to the original footings, put rebar dowels in. Then we'll lay a block back. Then we'll lay a block back. And then we'll dial back in, tie this walkway into the chapel with rebar dowels, so in the future they won't separate again.
Now, to do this, we're going to need money.
Yes,
and unfortunately, we're at a place right now where we just can't write a check for it.
Right.
So we're making an attempt to raise the money to repair the chapel because it's so vitally important to the history of the Humble Grace. All that being said, just the brickwork alone is going to be significant. However, some of this work can be done by the men in our work program, right?
All of it.
All of it can be done. Okay, good. And we don't have to contract it out to any huge construction company or anything like that.
We're thinking once we jack it up, the cracks close,
Uh-huh.
and it would be close enough. I could caulk them or regrout them.
Okay.
Once we get that done, then we're going to go back to. We want to get it back to original, like it was, you know.
I agree.
Redo our handrails and stuff, get it back like it was.
Okay.
We know we need 1,500 block. We need 100 yards of cement. We need a couple hundred sticks of rebar and wire mesh, plastic, mortar, sand, and dirt.
Well, the reason that we're only asking for a small amount of donations for this is because we have men in the program who can help you and your crew with this work.
We ain't, none of this included no labor.
Right. Well, that's a blessing, isn't it?
Right.
All right, Kenny, thank you so much
sir.
for showing us what needed to be done here.
Yes, sir.
And I know that the Home of Grace is in good hands with the Lord and Kenny Dees.
Amen.